2847, the Galactic Empire ruled over more than 12,000 star systems. Every civilization bowed before them. Every planet paid tribute. Every history book told the same story. Humanity no longer exists. 300 years earlier, Earth had been destroyed during the Great Galactic Purge. At least, that's what everyone believed. Alien children grew up laughing whenever humans were mentioned. They were too weak. They challenged the Empire. They disappeared forever. Eventually, Earth became nothing more than a forgotten legend. Then, everything changed. Near the edge of the galaxy, a massive alien mining fleet discovered an ancient object buried inside a dead moon. It wasn't natural. It wasn't alien. It was a gigantic black vault over 10 kilometers long. Across its surface, only 2 English words remained visible. Project Phoenix. Scientists forced the enormous doors open. Inside, there was no treasure, no weapons, no technology. Only one man, a human, frozen inside a crystal chamber. His armor looked untouched by time. Suddenly, his eyes opened, bright blue. Every alarm inside the station activated. The chamber unlocked by itself. The human slowly stepped forward. He looked around calmly, then asked one question. How long has Earth been gone? No one answered. An alien commander nervously replied, 300 years. The human closed his eyes, then quietly whispered, then we're already late. At that exact moment, every power system inside the station shut down. A hidden signal left the vault, traveling across the entire galaxy. Somewhere far beyond known space, millions of sleeping human warships received the transmission. One simple message appeared. Phoenix has awakened. The alien commander immediately ordered his soldiers to surround the human. More than 200 plasma rifles locked onto him. The room became silent. No one dared to move. The human calmly looked around the chamber. His expression never changed. He wasn't afraid. He looked disappointed. The commander stepped forward. Identify yourself. The human looked directly into his eyes. My name is Commander Adrian Kane, last commander of Earth's Defense Fleet. The entire room fell silent. Scientists quickly searched their historical database. Within seconds, a warning appeared across every screen. Classified record found. Commander Adrian Kane. Status: dead 312 years ago. The commander frowned. Impossible. You died centuries ago. Adrian smiled slightly. No, I was waiting. The alien commander immediately contacted the Galactic Council. Within hours, the discovery became the biggest news in galactic history. Every news station repeated the same headline. The last human has been found. Crowds gathered across thousands of planets. Some celebrated, others panicked. Many believed the human should be executed immediately. The Galactic Emperor gave only one order: bring him to the capital. I want to question myself. During the journey, Adrian never asked for food, never asked for water. He simply stood beside the window, looking at the stars. One young alien guard finally gathered enough courage to ask, "Do you really miss Earth?" Adrian remained silent for several seconds, then quietly answered, "I don't miss Earth. I miss the people who died protecting it." The guard lowered his head. For the first time, he realized humans weren't monsters. They had simply lost everything. 3 days later, the prison cruiser entered the galactic capital. Millions of citizens filled the streets. Everyone wanted to see the last human alive. Some threw stones. Some laughed. Others simply watched in silence. Adrian ignored them all. His eyes remained fixed on an enormous imperial palace. When he finally stood before the Galactic Emperor, the Emperor smiled proudly. "So, the last human, you've come to witness our victory." Adrian looked around the massive throne room. Golden banners, alien generals, thousands of guards, the most powerful empire in history. Then, he quietly laughed. The Emperor's smile disappeared. "You find this amusing?" Adrian nodded. "You think you erased humanity. You destroyed our cities. You burned our worlds. You even erased us from your history books." He took one slow step forward. But you forgot one thing. The Emperor leaned closer. And what is that? Adrian's voice became calm. You never found our signal. The room fell silent. Before anyone could ask what he meant, every light inside the palace suddenly went dark. Emergency alarms screamed throughout the capital. Outside, people looked toward the night sky. One by one, the stars began disappearing, not because they had gone out, but because something enormous was blocking their light. Thousands, then hundreds of thousands, then millions of colossal black warships emerged from hyperspace above the capital. Each one carried the same glowing silver emblem, a phoenix rising from the ashes of Earth. The entire galaxy stared in disbelief. Adrian looked out the palace window and smiled for the first time in 3 centuries. Then he spoke the words that made every alien freeze in terror. Humanity didn't survive. A long pause. Humanity has returned. The galactic capital fell into complete panic. Millions of civilians rushed into underground shelters. Military sirens echoed across the planet. Every defense cannon pointed toward the sky. Yet, the mysterious human fleet didn't fire a single shot. They simply waited. The Galactic Emperor stared through the palace window. His hands trembled for the first time in his life. Scan those ships. Within seconds, the fleet analysis appeared. The chief scientist looked at the numbers, then slowly removed his glasses. Your Majesty, there must be a mistake. There are over 3 million human warships. The Emperor slammed his fist onto the throne. Impossible. We destroyed Earth. We killed every human. Commander Adrian Kane quietly smiled. No, you destroyed one planet. You never destroyed humanity. A gigantic hologram suddenly appeared above the throne room. It wasn't projected by alien technology. It came directly from a human flagship orbiting above the capital. The hologram displayed Earth's final days. Cities burning. Families evacuating. Children boarding enormous colony ships. Then, thousands of hidden jump gates opened across the solar system. Millions of humans disappeared into deep space. Long before Earth was destroyed, Adrian spoke calmly. When your fleets attacked Earth, we already knew we couldn't win. So we changed the battlefield. The hologram zoomed farther into unexplored space. One hidden colony appeared. Then another. Hundreds, thousands, entire human civilizations stretched across unknown regions beyond the galactic maps. Massive shipyards floated around blue giants. Planet-sized factories forged endless warships. Gigantic ring worlds circled distant suns. Alien scientists couldn't believe their eyes. For 300 years, humanity hadn't been hiding. They had been building an empire in complete silence. The Emperor whispered, "How? How do we never find you?" Adrian looked directly at him. Because, while you were celebrating your victory, we erased every trace of ourselves. We abandoned our old technology. We invented new physics. We traveled where your maps couldn't. You searched for survivors. You never searched for a civilization. Suddenly, every screen inside the palace changed. A countdown appeared. 5 minutes. The Emperor looked toward Adrian. What is that? Adrian answered without emotion. Our invitation. Before anyone understood, every television, every hologram, every communication screen in the galaxy activated. The same human message was broadcast to every civilization. A calm female voice echoed across the stars. Attention, citizens of the galaxy. For 3 centuries you were told humanity was extinct. You were lied to. The entire galaxy stopped. Factories shut down. Schools went silent. Even military fleets paused to watch. The voice continued. We did not return for revenge. We returned because something far worse than your empire is coming. Suddenly, the hologram changed. A black void appeared beyond the edge of the galaxy. Then, thousands of stars vanished. Not exploded, not destroyed. Simply gone. The alien scientists froze. Their sensors confirmed the impossible. Entire star systems had disappeared in seconds. The Emperor slowly turned toward Adrian. What is that? Adrian's expression became serious for the first time. He quietly answered, "The enemy that destroyed the civilizations before yours. And now, it's coming for all of us." The throne room fell into complete silence. Outside, even the massive human fleet remained perfectly still, because every human commander knew the terrifying truth. The real war hadn't even begun. The throne room remained silent. No one spoke. No one moved. Every alien commander stared at the hologram, showing thousands of stars disappearing into darkness. The Galactic Emperor slowly turned toward Adrian Kane. His confident smile was gone. For the first time in centuries, he looked afraid. "What are we looking at?" Adrian took a deep breath. "The reason humanity disappeared. The reason we abandoned Earth. The reason we spent 300 years preparing." He looked directly at every alien leader. "You believe we were hiding from you. We weren't. We were hiding from them." The hologram zoomed farther beyond the edge of the Milky Way. A wall of darkness stretched across space. It wasn't empty. It was moving. Inside that darkness, billions of enormous black objects slowly became visible. Planet-sized warships, living machines, entire fleets larger than galaxies. The chief scientist whispered, "Our scanners can't calculate their numbers." Adrian answered calmly, "Because there are no numbers. They consume every civilization they find. They don't conquer. They don't negotiate. They erase." A recording from 300 years earlier suddenly appeared. Young Commander Adrian stood on the bridge of Earth's first deep space exploration ship. His crew had reached another galaxy. At first, everything looked peaceful. Then, they found hundreds of abandoned planets, entire cities, perfectly preserved, but completely empty. No bodies, no machines, no life. Only one message remained on every world, written in hundreds of different alien languages: "Run before they see you." The crew ignored the warning. Hours later, their long-range sensors detected movement. Not one ship, not one fleet. An ocean of living warships stretching farther than their scanners could reach. That day, humanity learned a terrifying truth. Every advanced civilization eventually attracted the same enemy, and every one of them disappeared. Back in the present, the Galactic Emperor slowly sat down. "So, everything we fought for, it means nothing?" Adrian looked toward the stars. "It means everything. Because if we fail, there won't be another civilization left to remember us." Suddenly, every alarm across the galactic capital began screaming. The chief engineer shouted, "Unknown object entering the galaxy." Another officer yelled, "Thousands of hyperspace tiers detected." Then, the sky above the capital split open. One giant black warship emerged. Then another, then hundreds, then thousands. The stars disappeared behind an endless living armada. Citizens across the planet looked up in horror. Children cried. Entire cities lost power. The enemy had arrived. Without warning, one living warship fired a crimson beam. A nearby moon-sized battle station vanished instantly. Not damaged, not destroyed. It simply ceased to exist. Silence spread across every communication channel. The Galactic Emperor whispered, "We can't stop them." Adrian slowly stood. "No, you can't." He activated a hidden communicator. Within seconds, 3 million human warships ignited brilliant blue engines across the sky. The darkness of space became an ocean of light. Every human captain received the same order. Operation Final Dawn begins now. The greatest battle in the history of the universe was about to begin. The galaxy had never witnessed silence like this. 3 million human warships stood between the enemy and every living civilization. No cheers, no speeches, no fear, only determination. Commander Adrian Kane stood on the bridge of the flagship Phoenix. He looked toward the endless black armada, billions of living warships, a force that had erased countless galaxies long before humanity ever reached the stars. An officer stepped forward. "Commander, our survival probability is less than 1%. Adrian smiled. "It always was." He opened a communication channel, not just to the human fleet, to every ship, every planet, every civilization in the galaxy. His face appeared on billions of screens. He spoke calmly. For 300 years, you believed humanity disappeared. The truth is, we disappeared so that you wouldn't have to. The galaxy listened in complete silence. The living armada suddenly accelerated. Millions of crimson beams tore through space. Entire fleets vanished in seconds. Several alien battle stations exploded. Panic spread everywhere. Then the human fleet moved, not backward, forward. Every blue engine ignited at once. The darkness of space transformed into a sea of blue light. Millions of human ships charged directly toward the enemy. The first impact shook entire star systems. Human railguns fired. Planet killer missiles exploded. Blue energy shields collided with crimson biological weapons. Entire moons shattered under the force of the battle. For hours, neither side gained ground. Then the impossible happened. The enemy's largest command organism appeared. It was larger than a planet. Its crimson eye opened. A single beam erased thousands of human warships instantly. An officer shouted, "Commander, if that creature reaches Earth, it will destroy everything." Adrian looked at the tactical display, then activated the file that only he could access. Project Phoenix. The true purpose of humanity's hidden empire. Every colony, every factory, every fleet had secretly been building one final weapon. Not a bomb, not a missile, a machine capable of collapsing a star into a controlled singularity. Enough power to destroy the enemy's command organism forever. But there was one condition. Someone had to remain inside the machine until the final second. There was no escape. Adrian quietly removed the command badge from his uniform. He handed it to the young officer beside him. "Take humanity home." The officer's eyes filled with tears. "There has to be another way." Adrian smiled. "There never was." He walked toward the command chamber. Outside, the flagship Phoenix broke formation. It accelerated alone toward the enormous creature. Every human ship stopped firing. Every alien ship watched in silence. The galaxy realized exactly what Adrian was about to do. His final message echoed across every screen. A civilization isn't remembered because it survived. A pause. It's remembered because of what it chose to protect. The flagship entered the center of the enemy fleet. The singularity engine activated. A brilliant blue light swallowed the battlefield. For one breathtaking moment, the stars themselves disappeared. Then, everything became quiet. The living armada was gone. The crimson darkness vanished forever. But so did Phoenix. And Commander Adrian Kane, 1 year later. The galactic capital looked very different. The statue of the old emperor had been removed. In its place stood a monument of a lone human soldier looking toward the stars. Below it were simple words engraved in every known language. Humanity never asked to rule the galaxy, only to save it. Every year, aliens and humans gathered together to honor the commander who gave everything. As the ceremony ended, a young alien child looked up at the stars and asked, "Teacher, will humanity ever return?" The teacher smiled. "As long as someone is willing to stand for others, humanity will never truly disappear."